Okay, so this is my final major project pitch for Instant Payback. I'm going to be making a short samurai film that involves a fight between a lone samurai and a group of bandits. I'm going to film this scene in the forest, because I think it will look very nice with the trees, like nature surrounding them. So obviously it's going to be a fight scene between these bandits and the samurai, and I'm going to leave it off with a cliffhanger standoff. So obviously the fact that it's a fight scene and our brief is to keep the films 12A rated, I'm going to make sure that the violence shown in my movie isn't graphic, so no gore or anything, no blood. I've got to make sure that the language used is appropriate for a younger audience, so no swear words or anything. However, that won't be that much of a problem, as my film will have very little dialogue. The brief laid out that the films are going to be shown at the Oaklands College Film Festival, so I decided that my primary target audience is mainly going to be students attending the college, as well as friends and family of those students. So the two main psychographics that the target audience will fit into are going to be mainstream and explorers. I figured that the majority of the target audience will be mainstream, as you're going to have parents and stuff who are going to be conformists and tend to follow conventions. However, the students attending the festival are most likely going to be explorers, as this is the psychographic that most young people fit into. On this slide here, I've got the demographic table and psychographics, so I figured that most graphic table is going to be A, so sort of because they're quite creative people, or higher management for like parents and stuff. And then I'm just going to highlight here the two main psychographics, which are explorers and mainstreamers. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. The content for my audience. So I carried out, as I was doing the proposal, some audience research, and one of my questions in my survey was, what is your favourite film genre? And one of the most common film genres was action, so I really feel like my film is going to satisfy that need for the target audience, as a fight scene is usually very action-packed, and I can, get quick cuts and stuff to make it more appealing to the audience. So the samurai genre was actually one of the lowest voted genres. In fact, nobody voted for it. However, I feel like this might appeal to the explorer demographic, as it's going to be something new, sort of exposing them to something new, like a genre that isn't particularly shown nowadays in cinema. So on this slide, I've been talking about resources I need. So obviously, camera, I was looking at using my Canon 700D, a tripod, a zoom recorder, and a shotgun mic for recording audio and ambient sound. I'm going to be editing it on Adobe Premiere if I make this film, and then the main resource that's going to make or break this film is going to be costumes and props. So obviously I want my samurai to look very traditional. I've been looking at samurai films and sort of taking notes on their costumes, and we have down here in the bottom right of the screen, kind of the outfit I'd like my samurai to be dressed in. But like I wanted to deviate a little bit because obviously having this one samurai traditional clothes and then having bandits in sort of contemporary modern day clothes, so like hoodies and stuff, it would make the samurai stand out more. So obviously prop swords, you can't have a film like a samurai film without prop swords because it wouldn't be a samurai film. And then I would like to have someone with possibly have someone with martial arts experience to help choreograph the fight, as I feel like having an expert in that would really help. The personnel I need, if I was to go forward with this shoot, I need a director of photography who'd be in charge of filming, sort of getting the camera angles I want, and sort of organising lighting if we need it. A sound operator, so someone to record dialogue, find sound effects, music would be very important. And then an editor as well to edit the final film, sort of put together the footage. I also need 6 actors. So 1 actor will be playing our protagonist, the lone samurai, and then the other 5 will be playing bandits. I've put down, like, I'd need the actors to be fairly athletic, because if they're going to be doing a lot of moving around, and, you know, I want it to be quite action-packed, so having people who are physically fit would be quite good. Budget, so I've looked online at prop swords, and a lot of them are quite expensive. However, these 2 swords I've looked at on eBay, like, so sort of cosplay items, are about £17. For costumes, I've looked at sort of like these kind of traditional Japanese hats, as well as the costume I've shown in the previous slides. Calculated the costs of renting equipment to be about £960-ish if I was to actually go out and rent this equipment myself. However, I will be borrowing equipment from the college, and also I have my own sort of cameras and stuff I can film on. Schedule, all the pre-production, including this pitch, needs to be done by the 1st of April. Animated storyboards, so the graphic narrative, needs to be done for the 1st of April as well. If from the graphic narrative my idea is chosen to be brought forward for filming, then filming will be between the 2nd of May and the 9th of May, and then editing and sort of reshoots, if we need to do that, need to be done from the 9th to the 23rd of May. So that was my pitch for my final major project. Yeah.